Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. And it's a fresh morning. The feels like temperature is -2, so it's pretty chilly, but there's not too much breeze, so not too bad conditions for wintry running conditions. And today's topic is Sunday Run Day. Okay, so this is where we talk about all things running, and the title of today's episode is Stryd, the Power Adapter as a running training aid. So as always, if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, Stryd, the Power Adapter. First and foremost, what is it? Okay, well, I'm going to stride down to a walk at the moment and put my foot down. You probably see, I'm pointing here, that little adapter that straps to my footwear is the Stryd Power Adapter. So what does it do? Well, it basically measures the metric of power. Now, power is, the only way I can describe it is it's like a real-time speedometer to work effort. Okay, now a lot of people use heart rate, myself included, to monitor work effort, which is super useful. I mean, I'm a massive heart rate trainer, so I swear by heart rate. But power, if you do it right, you get a much more accurate and real-time reflection of the power you're exerting, or the work effort you're exerting at any given point in time. Now, this is the kind of main metric that cyclists use when they're assessing their work effort. But I suppose the benefit of that is because they've got wheels under them, they can maintain a really consistent pace quite easily on wheels. Whereas runners, sometimes you speed up and slow down too quickly, or you alternate your pace quite frequently, because obviously it's a lot more pounding of your feet. And I think where it works super well is that it will give you, like I said, a real-time snapshot of how hard you're working, but it's so sensitive. So if I was to speed up like this, my power would shoot up really quickly, whereas if I was to speed up, you know, like that heart rate, the heart rate lags behind it, so it's a lot slower kind of way of changing. So the first thing I'd say about it is that if you want to run to power, if you can perfect this, it's an amazing training aid, because what it will do is it gives you in real time the data about your work ethic or effort. Just going past someone 1 second. So the reason that's so beneficial is that heart rate, if you run to heart rate, you get a lag. So sometimes, you know, you've worked slightly too hard for too long, and your heart rate will take a while to catch up with you, by which time the damage can be done, especially when you're talking about long distance endurance events. So what is the purpose of using power in a runner's training repertoire? Well, if you're an endurance runner, the benefit behind the Power Adapter is it's the data that it can produce. It can produce far more data than most other kind of running tech that I've experienced, certainly. And the app itself is amazing. Now the iOS, I'm an Apple man, so the iOS smartphone app, not so good. The desktop software is much better, but the Apple Watch app is immense in terms of the amount of data I can have on my wrist without having to switch over to a designated kind of wearable watch, running watch, like a Garmin or a TomTom, or those kind of things. I use an Apple Watch Series 6 to run in, so it does a lot more than just run for me. But in order to get the most out of it, it sometimes lags behind some of the kind of more designated running watches in terms of functionality. Well, Stryd kind of gives me that functionality with the Apple Watch 6, which I'm super happy about. So what does Stryd try to do? What's the selling point? Well, it's quite expensive. It costs about 120 odd quid to buy the adapter and the accompanying software that goes with it. But where it becomes super beneficial is that because it's strapped to your foot, it picks up a lot more data on your cadence, how you're running stride, your gait. It picks up loads of different things that you just can't get from wearable tech anywhere else. It also has its own GPS as well, which I've found to be far more accurate than using kind of even an Apple Watch or a smartphone, because it's actually in contact, or almost in contact with the ground, and it's picking up the distance it's moving far more effectively than on a watch strap. Morning. So really, you get some really cool, accurate data from it. It doesn't weigh anything, or it weighs very, very little, so you can't notice it on your foot if that's what people are concerned about. But where it becomes super beneficial is it captures so much data about you and analyses it behind the scenes. Okay, so for the first few weeks you think this isn't giving me much data at all, but once it's captured a few weeks worth of data, it starts giving you really personalised stuff about you and your power thresholds. And when you start doing more training, it works out the exact optimum power level you can work at to achieve certain times over certain distances. And it's super accurate as well. The challenge is being able to run to it, because I tried running to power several times, but I just seem to have this, my average pace can be relatively consistent. However, throughout a run, I might have a fast start, I might have a slower middle, I might have a faster end. I fluctuate quite a lot because it's just how my running style, which isn't great for power, because like I say, power is a speedometer in real time, and because it's got the kind of, I'm trying to work out, the units of measure are so small as well with power. It's normally like running at this power is probably 212 kilowatts of some kind. So, you can see if I speed up, I'm about 240 really quick. If I slow down, I'm at 170. There's big jumps, and it moves really, really tentatively. So if you can't maintain a really consistent pace, it's going to be difficult for you to use as running. And so I don't use it for power anymore, but I use it for the data it captures on other things, and having that data at my fingertips to assess my training and my plans for my endurance events. And I use it as a training guide rather than an actual training tool. I still run for heart rate because I can control that a lot more effectively than I can a Stryd power adapter. So that's kind of hopefully giving you the breakdown. But if you are an endurance runner, or even a shorter distance runner, but you want to start capturing far more data on your runs, it's an amazing tool. I know a lot of people from a science background that love it, because they love obviously looking at the data, examining it, testing and measuring different things that they can do. And so it's super data heavy, and if you like data, it's brilliant. I also like it how that it gives you far more variance on each metric of data. So for example, most apps will give you average pace, but it might give you average pace per lap as well. That's probably, or it might give you average pace where you are now. Morning. But where this becomes super useful is that you can variant. So I might be able to say, what's my average pace over the last minute, or my average pace over the last 10 seconds. So you can have it kind of formulating a lag, and you can do that with power as well. So what's my power over the last 10 seconds, which is something that you could probably use. Morning. So the variance of what you can do with each metric is second to none, and there's so much customization in that. Also on my Apple Watch screen, I think I've got maybe 21 different metrics on my Apple Watch app for Stryd. So you can get 7 on each one, and you can fluctuate. I think you can have 4 or 5 different screens, so you can get up to kind of the realms of getting close to kind of 40 odd units of data on your watch. That's not including what you can get on the phone, which is even more. And when you can analyse the data and you plug it into or you pull it from the cloud on the desktop, you can get access to even more. So it's super data rich. So those of you that really want to improve by numbers, it is an amazing tool. But if you're not great with data, steer clear of it, because it can overwhelm you quite quickly, and data is only useful if you can interpret it in the correct way. So that's I wouldn't call this a review, purely so much giving you my experience with it. I don't like reviewing things, I just like to give you my honest reflection on actually having used something, which I suppose is ultimately a review, but it's not one of these polished reviews that you get. It's real, and it's this is my experience. Like, there's certain things I use, but I don't use them for their original purpose, and Stryd is one of those. I don't use it to measure my power. I keep an eye on my power, but I don't use it to train to, and I don't use it. I use it as a guide for what target race times and stuff are going to be. But again, I use Tanda for that, which is based on weekly mileage against weekly average pace. So you've got to find what data is really important to you to be able to use it. But in terms of the running app and syncing with an Apple Watch, which allows me to sync with an external heart rate monitor and stuff as well, and it all pulls into one app. It's a pretty complex setup, especially if I'm using AirPods as well and all this type of thing. I haven't found an app better than Stryd, so for that the £120 investment was highly worthwhile. So that's pretty much it for me today. If I was going to summarise what it does, I mean, Stryd is a power adapter, so it monitors real-time work effort in the metric of power or kilowatts. If you can get this right, it's literally like a speedometer in a car. It moves as sensitively as it would when you speed up and slow down in a car. So you need to be a consistent paced runner to be able to use it effectively. Otherwise the jumps are so volatile that it's difficult to control. So that's what I would say if you're trying to run to it. It also provides you with huge amounts of data in multiple different variations. So if you are a lover of data, it's definitely worth checking out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Morning.
Morning.
So yeah, as always, if you like this episode, please give it a comment and a subscribe. If you've got a question on it, drop me a comment and I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll still respond, but I'll possibly do a separate vlog episode and tag you in and give you a more detailed answer. If it's irrelevant to you, just unfollow me on your social channels and it will stop cluttering up your feeds. But before you do that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Runpreneur, whereby I do a different topic on each day of the week. So if today's topic isn't relevant, tomorrow or other days of the week may be super relevant. So go check out the channel, and everything's catalogued nice and neatly by playlist, so it should be easy to navigate yourself around, and it's completely free and you can dip in and out of it on an ad hoc basis. Also check out the Facebook Runpreneur group, whereby I host all of my free resources, the first one being my 70-step process to repurposing, reformatting and optimising your content across all social platforms. So if you want to put more content out this year and you want to find out the process that I do, what I do with my blog, then check it out, completely free, and hopefully it'll be quite useful for you at some point in the future. So that's pretty much it for me today. All that's left to say is that the Runpreneur vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, and in my case running, as a release mechanism to manage and control these emotions so that you can thrive under them rather than crumble. The difference between success and failure can often be down to how well an entrepreneur will deal with these emotions. The ones that do it well are the ones that will move on to bigger and better things. The ones that don't are often the ones that will either have a breakdown themselves or the business will break down. So it's going past this person here. Morning, Ben. Hi mate, how are you? So it can often be the difference between success and failure, how well the entrepreneur deals with the emotions. And unfortunately, if you don't deal with them, two things can happen. One of which is that you'll break down as an entrepreneur, and two could be the business can actually break down. And either or of those outcomes can be terminal to the likelihood of your business lasting the test of time. Now, I've been there. I've lost multiple businesses because of this. I've lost business partners because of this. A lot of people around at the moment. And I've almost been bankrupt because of this. So I'm pretty well placed to talk about these things. And I've also come back from that and have this routine in my life now which allows me to take on more and thrive under these emotions that I've never been able to do in the past. And it's been game changing, so much so that I've made more progress in the last 6 months than the last 3 years. So since I've been starting this running routine. So my pledge to you is that if you are an entrepreneur struggling with this stuff, you need some help. There's no catch here at all. I'm not going to sell anything. I'll jump on a call with you and I'll try and give you a few tips on how we can get you back onto the right path rather than the wrong one. And a few of you taken me up on this already, and hopefully we've made positive differences to those already, because I said all along, if this vlog saves one entrepreneur or just saves one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So that's pretty much it for me today. All I have to say is that if you like this episode, give it a like, comment and subscribe. If you want to see similar content, check out the playlist link on the YouTube channel. And all I have to say is to end with stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.